grandfather. Now it's time to take a step forward in doing true magic. This is for those of you who are well on down your path of spiritual application, especially for those of you who've done the homework up to now, and I know there was a lot. But preparations for such things I'm going to speak about are as elaborate and lengthy as they are because of the responsibility you will have. Learning how to do things and apply things spiritually is entirely about responsibility. It is not about privilege, though at times it may seem so. It also helps to have a genuine caring for people, places, animals, in short, life. If you don't have that, then think twice before doing this. If you can summon that, so to speak, meaning put yourself into a frame like that, you might try this. If it doesn't work, then you'll know that you need to attempt to find a group of beings that you care about, that you can ask for things to happen for them, with them, and to protect them. And I'll tell you how you apply that to others, even if you do not consciously feel that way. Some of you are not too happy with human beings for various reasons. So I'm going to say that some of you still like animals, this or that type of animal sometimes. So there are times then when you might say the words associated with true magic that might be able to be expressed by you. Say, for instance, you like cats or dogs. I'm going to pick cats, just for an example. And you might be able to say something like this, all right? That, for instance, I am asking, you might say, like that, that all cats be protected, and that all other beings associated with cats and all life also be protected, ... then the circumstance. Or you might also say, I am asking that dogs and all other beings, ... You see? Because you start with the type of beings that you do love and cherish, see, then you can go on and add all other beings. Like that. That is a step up to having at least moments where you feel good about all life. I know that might seem to be very rudimentary to many of you, but remember, this video is going out to a wide audience, and I'm intending to give advanced work to you, and I also want to be inclusive. Now, many of you feel an energy through the top of your head, all right? Also called the crown chakra by many. Some of you will feel that energy beyond that area. But the reason I'm addressing those of you who feel that through the top of your head especially is very specific. As you know, you are being tested, you meaning human beings, are being tested by Creator. And Creator is essentially saying, without speaking out loud to most of you, that the time for your studies in the physical world that you now occupy is just about over. That doesn't mean that you get to leave. It means that you get tested to see if you can help others in circumstances that might seem to be difficult, challenging, scary, and dangerous. This is not about harming others. Those of you who have the bright idea that you can, hey, now I can get them. It's not about that. It's always and only going to be benevolent, meaning good and kind, for those of you who are not sure of the meaning of that word in your language. So, now, first off, the preparation. I want you to begin like this. For those of you who can feel the energy in a way, you know what I'm talking about. Through the top of your head, you can skip this step. But for those of you still learning how to do that, or have that feeling sometimes, first relax, turn the ringers off on your phones, and remove the phone from your presence. Move it at least 10 feet away if that is possible. I know some of you reside in small quarters, so move it as far away as you can move it. Try to move your electronic devices as far away as possible, or find a place you can be where they are not there. This is about you interacting with the natural elements of your own built-in magic, as well as the magic that exists all around and about you in the natural world. And the natural world is made up of that which is naturally in existence. And technology, as you are experiencing it today, machines, okay? Anything like that, electronics, is not natural because the materials in it did not volunteer to be a portion of those machines and technology. If you want to know how to help them to feel more relaxed, ask the question, and we'll get to that. So, then, once you have removed items of technology, especially, away from you, or removed yourself from metal furniture like that, wood furniture is not so bad, and I do not expect you to go out and sit on a rock in your garden. But if you can, even better. Then, this is what to do. After relaxing a bit, say, I am asking to be able to feel now physically a soft and benevolent energy at the top of my head in such a way as feels good to me and gentle in the most benevolent way for me. Now you notice I didn't say to open my crown chakra and all of that because some of you do not believe in things like that, even though it is a valid belief system. But it's important to be more inclusive, you see. That's why I've said it that way. You practice on that, but for those of you who feel that energy now, then I want to give you something you can do. It's all about protection for you and everybody else. So, find your spot that you sit in or stand in to do the work that opens up that energy feeling at the top of your head or brings it to your awareness. You can be outside. That's fine. In some cases, it might be better. You can be inside, wherever you are. Either way. Then relaxing into that feeling. say this. I am asking that all objects moving in space, whether they be naturally occurring or returning to the earth, now be deflected from earth in the most benevolent way for all beings. Now, for those of you who already are working on deflecting meteorites, comets, and all of this, keep in mind that there's also bits and pieces up in space that fall down regularly, and some of them have components that would be better not to be back on Earth. So, I know that many of you involved in this or that space program want to make sure that some things in space, don't worry about astronauts, all right? Benevolent for all beings, eh? They are beings. Will return from space. But there are some things that are better to remain there. And benevolent for all beings is essential. So, know that it is important that you have these skills and capabilities. For those who can do this work, who have been trained, may not always be available, and you may have to do it for yourself. Granted, little things will fall. Small meteorites, you call falling stars, they will fall and most of the time be completely safe and just light up the sky in some way that's enjoyable to see. But there are larger things coming. You had the preview with the comet hitting Jupiter, and it was no accident that shortly after you started having fluctuations in the business community, in well-being, in financial states of affairs. Astrology connected with astronomy, as it was always connected in the past, before science got too involved in the mathematical model. Astrology is correct in most ways, not always right now, because all information that is needed for astrology is not widely in circulation. That's why the astrology book was put out through this method. And there are others who have put out other materials associated with astrology to help you. And I'm not here to convince you that astrology works. I'm only bringing it up because when the comet hit Jupiter, it had an effect on you on Earth. But it was also to bring to your attention as souls that it is time now, immediately, to begin to practice deflecting things. This being, Robbie, you understand I am grandfather speaking through him. This being, Robbie, has taught a few people how to deflect these things, but it is also helpful now for those of you who can feel that energy to be able to deflect these things and, in general, deflect danger. So I have included that in the words, and I expect you to adapt and apply other words you have learned to perform true magic to help yourself and help others. Good life.